We're back on the Fire Your MD now. So we get Dr. Glidden in the second hour. And you know, talking to all these people, it's apparent to me that there's a lot of work to be done. We're in a war. We're in a fight. We're in a fight for people's minds, just like Alex Jones often says, there's a war on for your mind. You have a God-given inherent ability to take in information and weed out the good from the bad. Now, speaking about the bad, Mike Adams over at Natural News is commenting on the mainstream media attacking multivitamins in another example of quack science. And I saw this myself on CBS and ABC News. They're talking about this big study where vitamins are no good. The case is settled. It's settled. Vitamins are no good. They don't do anything for you. The British conquered the world because they knew to take vitamin C to combat scurvy, but vitamins are no good. Vitamin C does not get rid of scurvy. Why? Because it's not a drug. I'm becoming increasingly convinced that MD stands for more drugs, and we're going to get into this a little bit more right after we talk to Joe in Alberta. Joe, are you there?
Yeah, you betcha, man. My service is kind of in and out, so bear with me. But I'm just in the middle of a field here, and not very many towns around here in Alberta. So, but all these people, like the good start to the show, man. I must say, because I kind of wonder, like, what's these parents doing, putting these kids on these drugs? Like, I mean, and they must see a change in their child's behavior, no? Like, and now
maybe they don't have the guts to say something to their doctor and get them off them until it's too late.
Fair enough, I guess. Whatever their excuse is, pretty slack in parenting, I think.
You're right about that. Like if it were me, and okay, I'll give you a little example of when it was me. My son Elias, the school sent home a consent form that said they wanted to give him a random vaccination, and I had to sign it. They wanted my permission to inject my son with something that I didn't know what it was, and quite frankly, they didn't know what it was. I didn't sign the form. Well, it wasn't just a few days later. The school phoned me and said, we saw that you didn't sign your consent form to inject your son with this vaccination. And I said, that's right. I don't want you to do it. So a few days later, the health unit phones me and said, we understand you have a problem with the vaccinations. And so I went, through it with the adjuvants and the mercury and blah, blah, blah with the vaccines. And I don't really think that a person that's fully healthy and nutrified is going to have a problem with it, to tell you the honest truth. I think if you're taking the Mighty 90, you're just about good for anything. But at the same time, the nurse at the health unit that called me seemed to know absolutely nothing about these vaccines, and they wanted me to give them consent to inject something into my son that they didn't even know what was in it. So, you talk about it coming to your front door. I've had my experience as well. Have you seen any of this in any other areas around you locally?
Last night I was at my wife's Christmas party, and I was talking to a pregnant lady, because I find pregnant ladies beautiful, right? So I was talking to her, and it's a friend of my wife's, and she was telling me that she was scared to tell her doctor that she was nutrified, that she was, supplementing.
She was afraid of telling her doctor that she was taking vitamins.
Right.
Where was this fear coming from?
She had a friend that actually, they intervened. The social services intervened and took her baby 15 minutes after birth. And so that's where
social services took her baby after birth because she was taking vitamins?
Because she was taking vitamins. That's right, taking supplements. I'm not sure what brand or whatever, but yeah, that's the gist of it. So, I mean, these people know that they have to be supplementing. A lot of people know, but I guess these MDs just get so, make everybody so scared, I guess, that she's not willing to tell her doctor. So I just said, well, then get rid of them.
Well, that's the name of this show, right? Fire Your MD. I guess MD stands for Master Debater because they get the end word in any argument because they're an MD, whether it stands for that or more drugs or whatever you want to call it. They actually suck at their job. And I've had a lot of people telling me, Dr. Glidden, he's pretty angry at the MDs, isn't he? He's kind of, no, you know what? You haven't seen what he's seen. He's been in practice for a lot of years, and he's seen people killed by MDs, and I'm not a naturopath, I'm not a doctor, but even just locally here, I've seen people die from botched surgeries when they did not even need them in the first place. Let me make that clear to you. It was all a mistake, and that person died. So, I mean, if I show up at a job site with what I do, aside from longevity, and I don't do a proper job, I don't get paid, but they do. And not only that, but if I accidentally killed somebody, there'd be an investigation as to why. They seem to just skate away through insurance or whatever the case might be. But it's a pretty sad state of affairs when you have a young mother who is afraid to tell her doctor that she's taking vitamins for fear of having her baby taken away. So did you tell her to fire her MD now?
Yes, I did, and her response to me was, well, who's going to deliver my baby? And I said, I think naturopathic doctors can deliver babies as far as I know. I don't know about Alberta, but...
Tell her to get a midwife. I know a woman who just had a baby at home with a midwife, fully successfully, and the baby was healthy and happy, and everything went right. In fact, I'm going to have Christmas dinner with this family in a week here. But tell her to get a midwife. Look into midwives of Alberta.
All righty, that's a good... You betcha, man. And another thing too, from me, like the longevity, it literally saved my life and my relationship with my wife, my children. My daughter lost 9 pounds her first week on the longevity product. She's a premature baby, so she's a bigger girl, and I can't say enough good stuff about it other than to listen to you guys. Right? Listen to the show and just take the advice. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you do it properly, it will save you. That's my opinion.
When you say that, it actually strikes a chord with me because the same thing has been my experience. This way of life, the 10 bad food list, following the mighty 90 for life. And in fact, I take a whole lot more than just the Healthy Start Pack, but it has saved me as well. And you know what, Joe? I want to see the same thing happen with my countrymen. You happen to be from the same province as me, and it really excites me to hear people getting on board with this. And you have a mission to get this message to everybody around you. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about spreading the message after this call, Joe. We're going to be talking to Ashley, Dr. Glidden's personal assistant in Seattle. She's going to talk about the business end of it. And we're going to figure out a way that we can get this around to our countrymen and make them sound in body and mind and able to make right decisions, able to raise their kids healthy, happy, and put some money in their pocket. And how does that sound to you?
That sounds great. Amen.
Right on. We're going to let you go, Joe. Have a good one.
You too, brother.
Right on. Like I said, bada bing, bada bang, we're going to go over to the ever awesome Ashley James in Seattle. Are you there, Ash?
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Well, I love you. It's going good.
Well, we love you too.
How's Duffy?
I was just about to say Duffy's right over here. Duffy, say hi.
Hey, Mike, and everyone.
And everyone. I've been on conference calls today, super secret conference calls for some super secret people in longevity, and I have to say, I can't tell you anything about what we've been talking about, but corporate longevity is planning the most amazing conference call on New Year's. So if you're already in longevity, you need to ask your upline, ask your team to give you the information for the super secret, awesome announcements that are going to take place. Youngevity's launching a new product. They've been leaking information on Facebook and also on their YouTube channel for the last while. I can't tell you anything about it, but the information is very interesting. They're also going to be launching a ton of new information that I wish I could tell you, but I can't. So anyways.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Is it bigger than a bread basket?
It is bigger than a gluten-free bread basket, yes.
Can we? Well, I was going to try and fish the information out of you, but you're probably not going to give it to me, are you?
No, but if you try to fish it out of me, I'll stick Jen on you. Because
nobody wants
lady,
that.
She's a petite, wonderful woman, but she's on Youngevity, so she can take any man down.
Yeah, she actually, well, she's probably listening right now, so she scared me.
We love you, Jen. And I'm also calling because, after you had me on the show last time that you hosted it, I actually had a huge audience of people contact me on Facebook out of the blue just saying, hey, thanks for the information that you talked to Mike about. And a bunch of people keep asking me to lead another webinar. Dr. Glidden occasionally asks me to lead a webinar on the Youngevity business side through his insider membership.
That's
so if
a
you
great
don't know
idea.
What I'm talking about, so go to fireyourmdnow.com and just click on Be an Insider. And it's $20 a month. It has over 100 hours of health webinars, and these are the sales tools I use to build my business. But more than that, I've figured out how to do this business by doing everything wrong. So I've learned. So I want to teach you what not to do and what to do. And so it's going to be posted up on the schedule soon. Dr. Glidden's Insider membership is going to start including more and more business tools. Because the more business builders we have in Youngevity, the more lives are saved.
Absolutely, I'm 100% with you. I hear the music that means we got a break coming up. We're going to come back to you, Ashley, with more words of wisdom on the business end after this. We're back live on the Fire Your MD Now radio show. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Now, before the break, we were talking to Ashley James, and I want to tell you, Ashley and her husband Duffy are two of the best people I've ever met. And they come up here with Dr. Glidden, and when Dr. Glidden speaks, there's a lot of people listening. And after he's done, everybody's got questions. We got people signing up and whatnot. And Ashley James is absolutely invaluable in that situation. And you know what? It's easier than you think to get Dr. Glidden to come to your town and speak. You just got to work out the logistics and get bums in chairs, and that's all you've got to do. And if you want to build a Youngevity business, I'm telling you right now, it's the way to do it. Ashley, are you still there?
Yes, absolutely. And speaking to that, everyone in Team Glidden, I tell them when I first enroll someone or someone is enrolled by another person that's in Team Glidden, and I sit down to have the initial conversation about planning out their Youngevity business, what I tell them is your first goal is to get your supplements for free. That's your first goal. Don't be overwhelmed by, oh my God, I don't know anyone, I haven't signed anyone up, but I want to host Dr. Glidden. Your first goal is to, well, first of all, get on the products yourself, get off the 10 bad foods. You have to be a product of the product.
Absolutely.
You have to have your own personal testimonial. You know what? Without your health, nothing is possible, right? If you don't have your health, you can't go out and support your family. So first thing, get on the products yourself, learn how to dose them correctly. You can learn that from Dr. Glidden. Go to his website. You can learn it from the webinars or from just following this radio show. And asking your upline, especially if you're part of Team Glidden, we train our team really well on how to take the supplements. And then the next step is sharing with your friends and family, inviting them to webinars, playing the DVDs for them, giving them samples of the supplements, having them experience it for themselves, then getting them on board with you. And then the third step is, and by that time, if you signed up 3 people, you've now earned, if 3 people in that month, you now qualify to earn a Healthy Start Pack the next month. It's called the Healthy Body Challenge. It's Youngevity's website. You can go to healthybodychallenge.com to learn more about that. But my goal for everyone is get people, get yourself enrolled as a CEO. It's $3.99 this month for over $500 worth of our most popular supplements. It comes with a training kit on how to do the business. It comes with 150 full-size samples so you can immediately start sharing it with your friends and family. I really recommend doing that. And then if you sign up 3 friends as CEOs, you recoup your everything you've invested, and now you're getting your supplements for free. And then every month, just make that goal to sign up 3 more friends, family, people you meet on the street. I'm going to do a training this Friday. We're going to start doing more and more trainings on how to talk to people, how to prospect, how to bring people into the business step by step. My goal is that ordinary people have extraordinary success, because Youngevity is set up in such a way that the average person can have great success. I'm no one special. Everyone can be just ordinary. You don't need sales training. You don't need to know all the details, all the facts to be successful at Youngevity. You have to have a big heart. You have to be service to others, the mentality of service to others. You have to want to be healthy and help others be healthy and gain financial freedom and wealth. And if that's something that really just is a burning desire, then you're going to be fantastic at this business. So this Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be hosting a webinar for insiders and for Team Glidden. So people who are in Team Glidden and people who are insider subscribers of Dr. Glidden's membership are invited to attend. And if you can't attend, you'll have access to the recording. And we're going to be doing that more and more. And we're also going to make sure that we have a business builders section within the insiders membership, because I know that I could go out, and I've done this. I've gone out and I've signed up customers, and that's great. They're going to take the products. Maybe they even get just their family and their household to take the products. So they've got 3 people who are getting healthy. That's great. If I enroll a business builder like you, Mike, you've affected hundreds and hundreds, and it's just spreading and spreading and spreading. So my goal is to sign up more business builders, because that ultimately, business builders are going to go out and affect hundreds, if not thousands, of lives. Mike, you've actually helped in the last year more people than a naturopath can in one clinic. So you are more successful.
You know what? Just like stop right there. I constantly get people talking to me about what their naturopath said as opposed to Youngevity, and how certain products are going to hurt them, or whatever the case might be. But my question would be, does your naturopath have 1 million blood works and 250,000 autopsies under his belt like Dr. Wallach? Follow this business. Become an insider. Listen to people like Ash James. I hear the music. We got a break coming up. After this, we're going to go back to Janice in Annapolis. Thank you very much, Ash James. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter. We are back live on the Fire Your Envy Now radio show. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. And before that break, we had Ash James talking about the business, talking about building up your countrymen, building up your life, getting it back in control. Join me and my team. We're going to hold your hand and help you through it. Who's my team? Dr. Glidden. My team is Ash James. My team is Joe Leslie. My team is Gordy Letcher. My team is a bunch of people scattered across this province and all over North America that have a vested interest in seeing you and your family be healthy, happy, and thrive. It's what we want. It's what we want. Now, before the break, I said we were going to go over to Janice in Annapolis. Are you there, Janice?
I am. Thank you, Doctor, for taking my call.
I'm not a doctor. I'm filling in for Dr. Glidden, but I'm taking your call anyway. What's going on your mind today, Janice?
Oh, okay. Well, we're sitting in a hospital room, me and my husband. He just had AFib diagnosed again for the 3rd time. And
atrial fibrillation?
Yes. And we've been on the products for at least a year, probably 2, and we've gotten a lot of his problems and my problems too solved. But the one thing that I can't get quite right is, his vertebrae, I guess, are still not getting thicker. His blood pressure was high, and now that's normal, and he had problems with his knee, and now he never does anymore. But I can't get the AFib under control.
Okay, well,
and they want to put him on blood thinners.
Yeah, you don't want that. Well, first of all, what's he take? Is he taking a plant-derived minerals?
Yeah, we do have the minerals, and we have the OsteoFX, and we have been taking, the liquid glucogel, plus I gave him the capsules, too, because I told him that he needed to do more than what he was doing. But if he took essential fatty acids, he wouldn't need to take the blood thinner, would he?
Well, is he not taking the essential fatty acids in the first place?
Oh, yeah, he had been, yeah. I'm just wondering if, because they want to put him on a new blood thinner. And I don't really want him to take it.
The blood thinners aren't going to do a thing. The blood thinners, yeah.
If he weighs like 225 pounds, how many do you think he would need a day? 9?
Of the amino and fatty acids?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had lung problems before I started with longevity, okay? And I had to kind of tailor my auto ship to where I was taking what was right for me, and what was recommended wasn't enough. So I take 9 to 12 per day myself. So you really have to, we were talking earlier with these other callers about their personal situation, and is he following the 10 bad food list?
Yes, we're doing that. Yes, but there is some things that we could probably tailor more. Now that the third time has happened, and I'm thinking that maybe, he isn't taking enough essential fatty acids, and maybe he needs, at least 3 doses of the OsteoFX every day.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a few things to do here, okay?
Okay.
Why don't you try getting him on 16 EFAs a day, all right?
Okay.
16 of them per day.
All right.
Now, also, with the EFAs, have them take the digestive enzymes. All right? And also, in my opinion, more osteo. More osteo. Like if they want to put him on blood thinners and whatnot, you said that his blood pressure was getting better despite.
Oh, it's normal. It's normal now.
It's normal now, and they want to put him on more blood thinners.
Right.
Okay, so we've established that they're probably nuts. But the name of the show is Fire Your MD Now, right?
Exactly.
All right, so to give him a little bit of relief from the pain, I would put some CM cream on his back. Well, I wouldn't do it, but you can. Right?
Okay.
There's a CM cream. Ice it. And have you ever tried an inversion table?
Well, I've seen them, but we don't have one.
Yeah, and if you were going to go that route, I would look on Craigslist or Kijiji or something and try to find a used one, right?
Why? What does that do?
Well, that's going to help displace the weight and whatnot, right?
That's going to help his what?
Displace the weight on his back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right. So let's go with extra EFAs. Digestive enzymes, 16 EFAs a day. Because remember, you got to figure it out for every person individually. And, as far as I know, we still have the right to say no in North America, right?
Right.
So if they want to go with more blood thinners, I'd just say no. That's what I would do.
We haven't said yes yet.
Right.
Well, how much glucogel would you recommend?
How much glucogel?
Yes.
Well, the glucogel, obviously, just about anybody that takes it, it's going to be 1 cap per 10 pounds of body weight per day. If your husband is 220 pounds, he's going to be taking 22 of them suckers.
What about liquid? How do you dose the liquid?
You dose the liquid 1 ounce per 50 pounds of body weight. And in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because we got Glucogel Plus with extra antioxidants. So at the same time as he's getting the glucosamine and sulfur, that's going to work with the selenium and other things to help with the joint pain, he's going to get antioxidants that are going to decrease inflammation and help out with a lot of stuff too, right?
Okay, great. So it's 1 ounce per 50 pounds for the liquid.
1 ounce per 50 pounds, yeah. And if that's not working, up it a little bit.
Okay. That's
what I would do.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you guys have been on it for 2 years. How have you been?
Oh, I had Hashimoto's, and I've lost 40 pounds. My husband's lost 60 pounds. My blood pressure's great. His is great. He doesn't have any joint problems anymore. Let me see. I just feel great.
That's good.
I love it. And I try and tell everybody about it. But I tell you, my family, I have 3 nurses in my family. And it is just like pulling teeth. They don't want to admit that they should go gluten-free. That's another thing. I am gluten and dairy-free. And that's really helped. Plus the supplementation together has really helped.
That's great. You know what? I'm gluten free, but I'm not dairy free. But I used to have a lactose intolerance, is what they call it, right? And I can eat a bucket of ice cream in one sitting, no problem. now that I'm off the gluten. Well,
it's mostly the casein that's the problem. That's the protein in the dairy. It's very hard for people to digest. And my mom has it, and she also can't do gluten, but my sisters that are nurses do not want to believe it, so they won't do it. But they have asthma, they have IBS, they have, what's that other thing? I don't know, the joint inflammation thing, I can't remember.
Yeah. Asthma and IBS, those are 2 things that I've dealt with in my family, and they're complete, myself, I had asthma my whole life to the point where I was getting taken to the doctor turning blue at 4 a.m. by my dad, and the last 2 years I haven't had to use an inhaler like I ever, you know what I mean? And so, and it's the same with anything else. When a good idea comes along, people are scared, right? And why should you? They're nurses. Why would you know more than them?
Well, because they're not trained in it. And it's not that they're scared. They don't want to give the food up.
Yep. Well, hey, all you can do is tell them, right?
What can you do? Yeah. Right.
All you can do is tell them.
Anyways, that's what we've been doing, and I tell you, I would recommend it for anybody, especially the gluten. I mean, the weight just drops off you. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do anything. It just falls off you. And if you combine it with dairy and the supplementation, it's the answer.
Well, you heard it from Janice here, folks. I've seen the same thing in people around me with losing weight rapidly and just a ton of health benefits. My wife is very petite and beautiful, and she gets more beautiful all the time as she gets older with longevity. And what more could you ask for, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. So, keep at it. Increase the plant-derived minerals. Increase the EFAs. Take some digestive enzymes with that. That's what I would do. Thank you for calling in, Janice. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Now, all the way from Annapolis, we're going to go to Patsy in Nigeria. Are you there, Patsy?
Yes, I am here. Dr. Glidden, it doesn't look like Dr. Glidden.
No, I don't look like, well, actually, I do look like him, but I'm not him. I've actually had people tell me that I look like we could be brothers, but I'm not Dr. Glidden. This is Mike Phillip filling in for him, and I'm over in Canada. And how are things in Nigeria, Patsy?
Oh, great. I am working towards, getting the people to help me out because longevity doesn't ship here. Anyway, I have good news. So I don't know. You know, I had cancer 2009. And after the surgery with the radiation, I had lump in my breast.
Okay.
So I have been speaking to the doctors, and they said it's just cyst. But last month, because I couldn't get anybody to help me with longevity, so I had to travel to Chula Vista to get my longevity. And I took the healthy start pack, and I took, the calcium. I added the calcium, and I took a lot of selenium, and I just took everything that I could.
Yeah.
But also, I added, because I ordered for it around that time, so I started using it. This is B17. It's called the Laetril. So I add all of them together. 2 days ago, I found out that the lump is no longer there because it's been there since 2011. 2 days ago, it's no longer there, so I thought, okay, probably something. Then I checked it again today. It's no longer there. The lump is gone. Because I don't know if it's the selenium or it's the Laetril because I mixed everything together.
Yeah, well, it's a combination of everything, right, Patsy? You know what? It's really good to hear what happened with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to let you go, Patsy. Good to hear from you. Keep up the good work, and we're going to go over to Breck in Florida. How you doing, Breck?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. What's up?
Well, I wanted to touch base with you. About a month ago, we called up Dr. Glidden and talked to him about a friend of ours, and she's got diabetes, neuropathy. She was getting shots in her eyes. He put her on a full diabetic protocol, which is she's following to the T. Got a message from him today saying
Brett, I got to interrupt you. We're going to go to a break now, but I want you to hold on right where you're at. I want to hear what you have to say here, buddy. We'll be back after this.
Thanks.
We're back live on the Fire Your MD Now radio show. And short segment to finish up. We're going to go back to Breck in Florida. He's got a follow-up call with a success story. But first of all, I just want to put it out to everybody. If you can call into the show or whatever the case might be, you've got macular degeneration, atrial defibrillation, whatever the case might be, blood pressure, asthma, allergies, rosacea. I got a number for you right here. You got a pen? It's 1-800-705-6892. That's 1-800-705-6892. A member of Team Glidden will be on the other line to help you gain your freedom back from bad health and chronic pain. Remember, we don't heal anybody. All we do is support and promote the healthy structure and function of your body, and you are made to win. Now, speaking of winning, we're going to go back to Breck in Florida. Can you start over for me, Breck? I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, it's calling back. About a month ago, we talked to Dr. Glidden, got a friend of ours who's diabetic, neuropathy, getting shots in her eyes, high blood pressure. Glucose is starting to stabilize. He called me up today concerned about his wife. Still got water in the ankles, so they put her on a blood pressure with diuretic in it. They got her on 2 blood pressure medications. Still, blood pressure for her is an issue, and he was concerned about the water weight in the ankles. And she's not salting any of her food. She is following the 10 bad foods to a T and taking the full diabetic protocol that Dr. Glidden gave to her about a month ago. So just following up and wanted to touch base with you about that recent question.
Okay, we're talking water in the ankles.
Yes.
I want her to do everything that she can to support her digestive system.
Okay.
Also, I want her to take 50% of her meal protein in her diet, 50% or more.
Okay.
You want to get lots of protein, all right? 8 eggs a day if she can do it.
Okay.
And anything she can do to support her digestive system. We got the Gut Flora, the Flora FX. We've got the all these different ways of dealing with digestion problems. And that would be the way to go about it. But my suggestion lots and lots of protein, and there's lots of ways she can go about that. Chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, eggs. She can eat a lot of rice, but as long as she keeps that, within 2 hours before and after of taking her supplements, as rice contains phytates and will bleed the nutrients out of her.
Okay.
All right, that's my suggestion for the water on the ankles.
Right. Quick question. He wanted to know, could these medications be affecting her absorption and affecting the digestive, contributing to the digestive problem?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
The goal is to get her off the medication, right?
Right.
And so if they've got her on all these blood thinners and stuff, digestive enzymes, more osteo effects. My wife had high blood pressure, so high that, it was stage 1 hypertension, and she was getting dizzy spells while she was driving. She was getting really scared, and I made a phone call to Dr. Glidden, and he just told me to double up the OsteoFX. That's what he said. And I was thinking, well, that's a pretty simple answer. But in fact, we leveled out my wife's blood pressure in about 2 days. That's all it took. So, but you're going to want to monitor the blood pressure and slowly get her off of those the blood thinners, right?
Right, correct.
So, and tell her eat salt.
So I heard that too, that eating the salt actually will help the digestive system digest the food. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You need sodium and calcium in order to maintain good stomach acids. Your stomach acids need to be really powerful in order to break everything down.
Okay.
And salt is an important part of that equation. I hear the music. That means we're at the end of another Fire Your MD Now radio show. It's been a real pleasure for me talking to all of you. Shirley in Santa Cruz, keep up the good work and don't give up. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a great day.